The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
How's that for a fucking intro, right?
That was kind of badass, like the belly up sports part. And then you're just filming I was expecting the "it's time to BS" that you always throw in there.
I tried. Well, that's going to be on the audio front of this, but the actual video intro part, I did that myself. I recorded a little beachfront, and then I just whoop, did
Not
some
bad.
good old editing magic. Jack, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited for the Kings game tonight, but I'm good.
They're playing Vancouver, right?
They are playing Vancouver.
Ooh.
If they win, they overtake Vegas in the standings.
Please.
Please. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed indeed. But
I've seen two different versions of this team this year, but I'll get into that later.
They're infuriating. But anyway, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming to you live from the lovely beaches of Long Island, New York, and part of the Bev Sports and Media Network. It's time to BS, and I'm Staniel Smooth. Brought to you by our friends over at DraftKings. Go to dkng.co/bellup150 to get up to $200 off when you bet $5 or more with DraftKings. SeatGeek, use the promo code BellyUpSports in all caps to get $20 off your first purchase. And don't forget, please go support the lads over U Stadium. Download the app over on App Store or Google Play. Talk to some great sports fans. Follow the Twitter page at U Stadium. And talk some chaos. Why not?
Funny of it.
Also, Ryan McCarthy of No Credentials Required will be joining the Sports Cave this coming Thursday, so that will be live. We'll talk some shit. Jack, it's been a while. Jack, it's been a while. How the hell have you been, bro?
Jesus Christ. Where do I get started?
That solves that problem.
I know, right? No, I'm doing all right now. It's been a bit of a rush as of late. Class is picking up a little bit, but that's just how it is.
You look tired.
I am a little bit tired, yeah. Sleep has been, if we're gonna get real for a moment, sleep has been a little bit of an issue, but it's not gonna be a huge problem. I'm pushing through it. I'm here. I don't know. It's just bad scheduling on my part. But
have you tried warm milk?
Warm milk, no.
Have you tried boiled? If you boil milk, it actually helps you go to sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You have what, 4 monitors? You could Google this shit.
3. Technically 4. I have a laptop right there, but
see, you have 4 monitors. You could Google this shit. Go ahead, Google it while we're at it. While I ramble on Beyoncé ruining country music.
Oh boy.
She infuriates me to the highest order. She is the kind of person that is trying way too hard to be famous, even though she already is, and she seems so entitled for everything or to everything, and it infuriates the crap out of me. Did you find it yet?
Did you actually think I was Googling it? Oh my god.
Yeah, It looked like you were Googling this shit. Remember, we're live after all. Hi.
We are.
Hi, Stream. Hi, Stream. How you doing? Oh, by the way, hopefully we'll be doing this every Tuesday night. Hopefully me and Jack every Tuesday night to cause some bullshit, cause chaos.
Okay.
You look like you're looking this up.
I am looking it up. I just Googled it and it literally says warm milk can actually help your body relax before sleep. You learn something new every day.
Dan wins.
My question is, does it work? Would it work with rice milk? Because I don't drink dairy.
I don't know. Ask our friend Google.
Okay. Oh my god.
What a start. Kick, save, and a butte right there. Jack is here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, for those joining into the stream, Jack is back after a 12 episode hiatus, it seems like.
Feels like it's every 12 episodes, honestly.
It's just he's just busy. Let's just be honest. Jack is busy. We're all busy. Shit happens. What are you gonna do? But free agency's coming.
It is.
Isn't that exciting?
Spicy. It is so spicy just with some of the news that we've seen today and yesterday, whatever. Whenever news has been dropping. That's just what happens when the combine week comes around. It's like the NFL, like the offseason does not truly begin until, or like it doesn't truly begin until like after the draft, pretty much with this league. Like the Super Bowl is played, and that's supposed to be the end of the season, but at the same time, there's like all the post Super Bowl like news drops and like who's gonna be a free agent, and then there's like all these talks about like who's signing where. Are there any coaches going anywhere? Are there any players that have plans? Players that might be retiring? And then you get to this part where now like the combine was just happening, and now all these teams are announcing their cuts and their franchise tags because the franchise tag deadline just passed.
Yeah.
More conversation happening about the draft. I don't even know when's the draft.
End of April.
Okay, we got time. But yeah. So like all these talks are gonna keep continuing, and then
I can hear the sound of your keyboard Googling rice milk.
It's not what I'm Googling. March 13th. March 13th is the deadline or the start of the new league year for 2024. So that's when things really are going to pick up. So
let's talk about it
until like after the draft, honestly.
Honestly, the offseason really starts like the day after the Super Bowl, if we're being truthfully honest. And it's the most exciting time of the whole year, which is these 3 or 4 months from like mid-February to like late May, early June. It's the most exciting time because
it just, what my point was that it just doesn't slow down.
No, it does not.
It just goes. Like even in the even in the offseason, like today we're talking about like cuts by teams to save cap.
Ooh.
Or like the franchise tags and stuff like that.
Speaking of cuts, lot of cuts were made. A lot of significant cuts were made. If you haven't paid attention, for those out there, how do we begin?
We laugh.
You texted me this. You texted me what we're about to talk about in all caps, and I usually go to 2 things. I count on you for these news because you're on a roll with this last couple months.
I'm plugged into this stuff, man. I'm just
yeah, this is a fair point. But you texted me like 2 months ago. Pete Carroll is gone in all caps, and I was like, "Shut the hell up! There's no way." I did not believe you. And then some few hours ago, as we're recording, you text me, quote, in all caps, "Blitz boy is gone."
Blitz boy out. He is out. He's gone.
The Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, the Seattle Seahawks have announced 3 major cuts. The most noticeable one, which was as expected for about 2 years now, Jamal Adams, who's where are the Jets fans when you need them, signed a 4-year, $72 million deal with the Seahawks after Seattle acquired him from the Jets for, let's hear it, 2 firsts, a third, and Bradley McDougald. And before we go on this tirade and down this rabbit hole, I would need to remind the entire Jets kingdom that your team still sucks. You have not had a winning season since 2015. You have not sniffed 500 since 2015. Oh, but we got Garrett Wilson and Elijah Vera Tucker. Yeah, your team still sucks.
I think this offseason, when it comes to quarterbacks, is going to be very interesting because the Jets are one of those teams where, you know, you had a quarterback injury derail their whole entire season.
Yeah.
And there's another significant quarterback release that we'll talk about in a little bit, but yeah, no, it's just like these teams, I think, are kind of coming to the realization they don't want one injury to screw over their whole season. So they're gonna
back to our previous topic.
They're gonna look into that. That's what I'm saying with the Jets is like, yes, they sucked, but Aaron Rodgers. I'm not, if he stays healthy, I'm not gonna count them out. So
let's derail this Seahawks conversation for 2 seconds. I have a proposal for you that I texted our friend Mike, that I texted John, and I'm going to ask you this question. Caleb Williams is in all likelihood, going in the top 3 this year. Probably. All likelihood is going in the top 3 or 5 in the NFL draft this year. We can pretty much guarantee that. Chicago currently owns the first overall pick. I say currently because there have been rumors out there that they could trade back, moral story short, they're shopping the first overall pick for the second year in a row. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. But enter the New York Jets, our previous topic. Let's throw this out there and say the Jets offer Chicago, sign and trade Bryce Huff, first round this year, first round next year, second rounder this year or next year because they don't have a second rounder this year, and a couple other picks to trade up from, where are they, 9th? 10th? Where are the Jets?
Where are the Jets? I don't know.
Where are the Jets pick? Regardless, they move up from their spot to the first overall pick.
Jets are 10th.
Okay. They go from 10th to the first overall pick, courtesy of this trade. Bears get massive draft capital, plus they get a pretty good player in Bryce Huff. Jets get their potential starting quarterback in the next 2 years or so, barring Aaron Rodgers' retirement. Who says no?
Maybe. I think it's a bit of a tough call. So you're saying you want the Jets to trade up for the first overall pick?
Think about it. Joe Douglas has had multiple losing seasons. He's had multiple seasons and off seasons of ineptitude. Good GM, not going to deny that. He knows what he's doing. But you whiffed on Zach Wilson. You had no backup plan for when Rodgers went down after 7 snaps into the season. If that. The quarterback class next year's draft is not particularly good. This is probably your best opportunity if you're Joe Douglas to call Ryan Poles, the Bears GM, and go, "Hey, darling, what say we give you these picks plus Bryce Huff, sign and trade?" It's the only way Douglas might save his job. Because if the Jets stink up the joint next year, he's canned.
Yes.
So, are you with? Is this a good idea?
I understand where you're coming from. I just don't think I don't know if I don't know if quarterback. I mean, yeah, it's a need. I don't know.
Not a bad idea, though. It's not a bad idea.
I don't think it's the worst idea out there. It's just like I don't know if Caleb Williams is the guy that I'm taking.
Really? You don't think so? You're not buying the hype either, are you?
I don't want to say I'm not buying the hype. I just don't think he's as good as he's made out to be.
Yeah, Okay. So, let's go back to the Bears. If the Bears hold on to the first overall pick, you don't think they're taking a quarterback?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I really don't know. Like, what other options are out there? Is my
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay.
He is 6'4", 6'5", runs as fast as Devontae Smith, and is probably as good of a route runner as Devontae Smith. And he won the Heisman. Smith did. Okay? Some people are comparing this man to Randy Moss. Okay? If you're Chicago and you say, okay, statistically speaking, shut up, phone. Statistically speaking, Justin Fields had a very good year. He really did. The rest of the team, toss up. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But your receivers are Darnell Mooney, DJ Moore. That's it. Add Marvin Harrison Jr. in there, who is probably the best wide receiver prospect in 15 years.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like it. That sounds like it should be a no-brainer for the Bears, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got teammates, you got their teammates that want to hold on to Justin Fields.
He's talented.
He is. I don't think he's been able to like fully blossom yet. I still think he's got some room to improve, obviously, but
agreed.
I think this is kind of the year. What is he entering? Year 4 now? Year 5?
4. 3. His 4th year.
Yeah, 4 year. Okay, I was right. So year 4 of Justin Fields, you're kind of running out. This is what I learned watching Jared Goff. Is by this point you're kind of running out of the he's still developing excuse. Like, I think this is kind of the last year where you can really well and truly say that he's still developing. Yet now he's got to be like improving and showing that he has the potential to, I think, at least be a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it might be worth trying to get one last run in with Fields because, you know, he's shown flashes. He's shown the potential. It's just, can you get it out of him for a full season?
I'm going to break your brain.
Oh, God.
Justin Fields, this past season, was statistically better than the league MVP, Lamar Jackson. Look it up.
In what statistics?
I think passing yards, and I believe it was passing yards, passing touchdowns, and I think that was it, yeah. In those two categories.
In just passing yards and passing touchdowns.
I think rushing yards too. I could be horribly wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I truthfully hope. I saw this somewhere.
I don't think that's an argument where stats really matter though, because it's like
no.
The MVP is also sort of like about an intangible thing too, in my opinion.
Oh, the MVP in the NFL is diluted to hell and back.
It is. This is just the thing about it being a quarterback award too. It's like they're never going to not give it to a quarterback again.
Shout out to Brock Purdy, who was the favorite for most of the year.
I don't understand any of that hype. I could go on about Brock Purdy.
We both could, man. We're both rivals of that team. It's funny. It's hilarious.
Watching them collapse is comedic. That's a different rabbit hole.
I wanted. I was like, it's happening again. I texted you that during the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna verify that right now.
Please go for it.
I'm gonna verify that.
Can we completely got derailed once again because we were about to trash Blitz Boy Jamal Adams, and we got derailed by the Jets. And
after they lost, you asked me if we could have that conversation on Shanahan.
Yeah, can we start? Okay, we'll promise we'll get to Jamal Adams. When are we going to have that conversation on Shanahan?
My thinking on the whole situation is he's too good to get fired. I don't think he's going to get fired. But it's the NFL is a results-based business. I mean, I think business in general is just results-based. And the fact of the matter is, when your resume is blown lead after blown lead on the biggest stage, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter who you're playing against. I mean, you know, when you consistently try to do that, to work your way to the top, and you get there, and then you just like the expectations. I don't even know what the expectations for the 49ers going into the year was to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they didn't do that,
and they had an easier schedule.
That's another thing that nobody really talks about enough too, is that their schedule is pillow soft every year. It feels like.
Oh, it's funny as shit.
I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna be biased and just
Please
say the Rams.
do.
The Rams
Please
just invicted. Like what word am I thinking of? Inflicted some kind of voodoo karma on the 49ers after beating them in week 18 with their backups.
They pulled some like New Orleans voodoo magic.
My hope is that Carson Wentz signs a 4-year deal with the Rams, and then we only play him against San Francisco. He's 4-0 against the 49ers. He's 4-0.
That'd be funny. That'd be hilarious.
Like, we just bench Stafford twice a year and be like, all right, Carson, there's your chance. Go get him.
Go on, do something.
Go do the thing.
Do the thing. This show's more fun with you on. I can't do it by myself.
Someone else in who loves trashing this franchise up north, and
you also get the show. You also get the show and how we do this shit. So you also understand it for how many years of doing this crap. So that helps. That does help a lot. I love the subtle helmet that's right there.
Yeah, it's just chilling on top of my laptop for right now.
It's just chilling. It's like that meme where it just goes like soon. It's like that meme.
This isn't even a permanent spot for it, honestly.
I think it's a good spot.
It's a good spot. My only issue is it's sitting on top of a laptop. I am gonna want to use that laptop, and it had to be like lifted up a little bit so that my Xbox had room. So
I also have a flaming bulb that I could turn on. I just gotta turn off that light and that light over there. I just turn the flaming bulb on to more subtlety in here.
Yeah. What I would love to do is get like one of those like wall mounts for these helmets.
You talking?
You could just like hang it up on the side of the wall. I don't know where he's going. He's trying to show off his light or something. But yeah, I know. I think it would be really cool if I could get like one of those wall mounts for a mini helmet. I'm sure they make those somewhere. So
wait.
He's still going, folks. He's trying to show me that flaming light.
That's cool as shit. It looks like my apartment's on fire.
It looks like you're summoning a demon.
What is that? The lion turtle from Avatar: The Last Airbender? You remember that?
I think I do, actually. I might. I haven't seen that in forever, but I might remember.
You know what I'm talking about, though. You know that theme I'm talking about.
I think so.
I feel like I'm summoning like the ghost thing. I feel like I'm summoning the ghost of Al Davis.
Oh my god!
Isn't this? But this is cool as shit. Look, that's a flaming bulb. See, flaming bulb.
I see it. Hard to miss. It better not fall. Don't drop it.
Why would it fall?
It looked like you were gonna put it down on the edge for a second.
Oh, I'm doing shit. Hold on.
I didn't have faith.
You have no faith in me and my mystical powers.
That's not 100% true.
Okay, this is fucking up the camera view. Hold on.
I'm probably gonna have to keep talking again. I honestly don't know what to say.
No, you're good.
No,
you're good.
You're back.
You're good. Jamal Adams. Where do we begin? Let's do shit.
Yeah, safe to say he did not live up to the hype. I didn't think he was ever going to live up to the hype. I think that he, I kept telling you that he should have been moved to linebacker.
Yeah,
I think just because I thought his numbers when blitzing, since he is a blitz boy, we'll use that term. His numbers when rushing the passer are a lot better than his numbers in coverage, and it's like I think it also kind of says something too that the Jets openly said later on. I think Joe Douglas might have said it, that they are not even thinking about a reunion. So, I mean, honestly, where else does he go? And there was all that time he spent injured as well too. Like he spent like how many months missing time? It was just like the resume is not great. There was a lot of capital moved there were a lot of pieces moved in that trade that got him to Seattle, and it really just like
let me cut you off.
It didn't pay off. It didn't pay off.
Not only did it not pay off, but it doesn't help when your head coach constantly runs a scheme from 1982 and refuses to change. But now he's no longer here, so that argument's down the drain. But you know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I think that's another thing too, though, is that's probably like the key reason this happened is the new, like, who is it? Mike McDonald's the new coach of your team now.
McDonald, the Ravens defensive coordinator, is the new head coach.
He wants changes. It's just one of those new regime changes. That's exactly why he's gone. That's exactly why Quandre Diggs is gone. I don't know how many teams are going to take a chance on Quandre Diggs. I'm sure he's going to look for chances, but
Diggs is the tricky one here because Diggs can play both safety positions, but he was drafted from Texas as a nickel corner. So he can play those positions. He can play nickel. He can play safety.
I think he had a big down year last year is the problem too.
Oh my God. He really did.
I remember this guy's name because of how many times he's pissed me off watching him. It felt like no matter who the Rams quarterback was, whether it was Goff or Stafford, it felt like every time we played this guy, he would get an interception. And it's just like, that's the kind of name you remember because you don't like him. And then it's like, well, now he's gone. He had a down year. He didn't have any picks against the Rams last year.
Well, let's discuss this because Seattle not only released those two, but they released Will Dissly. They're one of their tight ends.
That's an interesting one.
He's good, but it's one of those things where it's like Jamal, where the injuries just caught up to him.
Yeah.
But they accrued $36 million in cap space just by those three moves alone. And more is coming.
So it's both a regime change and it's a reset a little bit almost when it comes to the salary cap.
It's a good thing. It's a reset, yeah, because I think what they want to do is they want to re-sign Leonard Williams. If they can, they'll do it. But I think what they want to do is they want to go quantity over quality. Which means what they want to do is they want to see what they have in the players that they got. Sign a few, middle of the pack free agents where it's Blake Cashman, Josie Jewell for linebacker. Brian Burns is off the table because he just signed the franchise tag. Daniil Hunter, if he's his contract.
Franchise tag necessarily means off the table.
But you get what I'm saying. Then.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying.
Is they want to go quality over big ticket free agent because they tried this. They tried it with Draymond Jones, and he had a pretty decent year.
What does your draft capital look like?
16th pick. They're probably going quarterback.
They have 1, 2, 3.
They don't have a second rounder because of the Leonard Williams trade.
They don't have a third rounder on Tankathon. I don't know what that means when it shows another.
It's to be determined, but I think right now they have like 5 or 6 picks. Hey, 4-2 Islanders.
I think 6.
But so they got 6 picks. One of them is the 16th pick in the draft, which I think they're going to go quarterback. And I think it's Penix's name written all over it.
You said JJ McCarthy.
I thought McCarthy would have been right there, but then I saw his tape. I was like, ugh, it doesn't. I'm torn on him because Ryan Grubb, who was the Washington offensive coordinator for the Huskies when Penix is there, is now the Seahawks offensive coordinator.
Interesting.
Indeed, my friend. Indeed. So, Let's play a little game of musical bullshit. A musical chairs of bullshit. If you're the Seahawks, do you or do you not draft a quarterback at 16? And if you do, when do you start him? Because they might have to take a quarterback. This class is really good.
It is really good. My thinking is I don't know which quarterbacks, if any of like the top ones, are going to be on the board. And then there's also the matter of I think I don't know how much you agree or disagree with this. I'm almost certain that like they're just going to roll with Geno Smith.
Oh, they're going Geno as the starter this year. Absolutely.
Yeah. They've said it too. They said that he'll play this season on his current contract. So
yeah.
I don't know if they're necessarily looking at quarterback right now. Who's even the backup? Drew Lock?
Drew Lock's a free agent. That's the kicker here.
Okay. Then maybe I would take a look at quarterback, honestly. Because Geno's been playing well. Geno, like, I really did not see that coming.
Thank you.
Geno, ever since stepping in, has been playing well. Like, I'm going to use an example. If you remember the game between our teams where Myers missed the last second field goal.
Yes.
That probably would not have happened if Geno Smith does not re-enter the game. Like, I remember when he came off the sideline instead of Drew Lock, I was audibly going, "Oh shit."
Oh shit.
Because like we were playing very well against Drew Lock.
Yeah.
We were getting picks, we were playing insane. And the next thing, and then Geno comes back and he starts throwing dimes, and it's just like, "Oh god, not like this."
So I'm going to read you their offensive personnel up in Seattle, assuming this personnel stays the same. From left to right tackle, Charles Cross, assuming he gets re-signed, Damian Lewis, Olu Oluwatimi, who was the Remington Award winner for Michigan 2 years ago, Anthony Bradford, who is a mammoth of a human being, Abe Lucas, tight ends Colby Parkinson, Noah Fant, wide receivers Metcalf, Lockett, Smith and Jigba, and Jake Bobo, running backs Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, Kenny McIntosh. Like, it's a good set of players.
Sure.
If this were the Rams, you would be all over this. But okay,
I probably would. I don't know. I just think the Rams have done a better job, honestly, in terms of like, or at least I think they have a better track record in terms of like finding pieces in the draft.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
I think, bottom line, to answer your question, I think quarterback is probably worth a look. I'm not saying they pull the trigger on it, but I think it definitely might be worth a look. If Geno Smith is all you're working with, he's got what it takes to like make Seattle a threat. It's just a matter of like, there's gonna be changes under Mike Macdonald too. Like, that's the other thing too.
Oh yes,
we don't know what direction he wants to take the offense. We don't know what kind of a scheme he wants to run or what kind of a style he wants to run.
The defense is going to get better.
Yeah, the defense will get better.
The defense is going to get better.
That should be a concern for you guys. I think just offensively, like what kind of system does he want to employ there? So
I agree with you on that part. The defense is going to get better, and it all depends on the system. Because keep in mind here, we're just guessing. We have no fucking idea what this team is good.
That is what makes it fun. That is what makes draft season fun. Even as a casual like me, I'm not into like maybe necessarily the biggest names or prospects, but any team can just pull any kind of BS out of their hats at the same time. And that's the thing about football that makes it fun. It's just unpredictable.
Speaking of unpredictable, do you remember a certain quarterback that was traded 2 years ago?
I don't want to say the outcome was very unpredictable. I'm going to be real with you.
Karma's a bitch.
Broncos country.
This is what you get. You and your 12 fucking bathrooms and your $30 million mansion, your attention-seeking wife.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I love every second of it. Russell Wilson is officially a free agent after 2 years, $245 million later, and an $85 million dead cap hit total for the next 3 years.
Name a bigger failed experiment in the NFL.
Oh, good Lord. How long did Herschel Walker play for the Vikings? To the internet.
Or to the internet. That's what having multiple monitors does for you.
This is what happens when you have multiple monitors, Jack.
How long did he play for?
2 years. Please be 2 or 3 years. He's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, for the Vikings. He was never the same since he got traded from Dallas. Keeping in mind here, ladies and gentlemen, the Herschel Walker trade.
3 seasons in Minnesota.
Okay. The Herschel Walker trade is lived in infamy as one of the worst trades a team has made in NFL history. It jump-started a dynasty in Dallas. If you want to go even further, the Ricky Williams trade was pretty bad for the Saints.
18 players and draft picks were moved around in that trade.
This is fucking funny. I want to be clear. I am not against Russell Wilson by any stretch.
Kind of sounds like you are.
This whole situation, though, is fucking funny because this man forced his way out of Seattle. Probably should have gotten Pete fired a few years earlier. But regardless, forced his way out, and you notice the second he gets traded, when training camp arrives, the entire old guard from the 2 Super Bowl teams shows up, including Doug Baldwin, who famously hated this man's guts. And it makes you wonder, how much of a problem was Russell Wilson to begin with? Oh, the questions. So many questions.
So, to be a fly on the wall in the Seahawks building.
Oh.
And the Broncos building, too.
Oh, the content is juicy, my friend. It is excellent.
So, I could be a little bit wrong on this, but according to what I saw, it's 85 or 83 million in dead cap.
85. 85.
Which is more than the next 2 highest players that got released for teams to have to eat dead cap. The dead cap numbers for those 2 players combined are less than the 85 million that the Broncos are eating for cutting Russ.
Who's getting fired? The GM's getting fired, right?
GM's done. Whoever the GM is?
George Payton. George Payton, who came from the Vikings.
Yeah, if this year's a failure, he's gone, which it probably will be. I think it depends on the draft class a little bit too, but this is like
so fucking funny.
Catastrophic organizational failure.
I'm sorry. I feel bad.
Sean Payton couldn't even fix him.
No, and that was the funniest part. Sean Payton, who we clamored as the man who could potentially fix Russell Wilson. We clamored for this. I told Mike this. Mike, your best bet to fix a disaster of a contract that Russell Wilson is to hire Sean Payton from the Saints. That's it. You did it. And guess what? Even he, as credited of a head coach as Sean Payton, could not fix this disaster of a contract.
Yeah,
I love comedy. I really do.
I think probably this is just a cautionary tale for every other team involved, which is don't throw money at your quarterback who's never played a snap for you.
Looking at you, Cleveland.
Like I think I'm going to go to the Rams here again. They threw money at Stafford after he won the Super Bowl. They waited until they saw what they had.
Well, if you want to go even further down the rabbit hole, if you want to talk about quarterbacks that got a lot of money that probably shouldn't have gotten a lot of money. Let's talk to an old friend. Further, Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
See? If a quarterback, if you never throw a bajillion dollars at anyone and bank on past success, you don't.
You don't.
Like that's why these contracts end up so poorly, a la Albert Hainsworth, Jeff Garcia.
To rephrase it a little bit slightly, you can bank on it. It's just like you bank on it after something has happened.
Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Like the Rams specifically waited until after Stafford actually got them the Super Bowl that they kept saying they wanted to get. And it worked out for him. And he got his bag.
Yeah. Yeah, and all it cost you was $40 million of Jared Goff. And 2 first round.
That was a weird one though, because Detroit was actually like willing to eat that cap, and it just worked out for them in the end.
It worked out. It worked out for the Lions amazingly.
Probably the most 50-50 trade in league history, to be honest. Or at least it's definitely up there.
It's up there. It's definitely up there. I wouldn't say 50-50. I mean,
I guess that's true.
I mean, keep in mind here, I mean, the Chargers took Eli Manning first overall, and they flipped him to the Giants after the Giants took Phillip Rivers. That's a 50-50 trade. Who won that deal? You can equally say both teams won that deal.
Well, Eli Manning beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl twice. We know what the Chargers' track record is with Super Bowls is. So
0-1 to the 49ers.
Yeah. In 95, and they haven't been back since.
94,
sorry.
I remember vividly because that was Steve Young's lone MVP.
I should remember that because I hear it from Niners fans all the time about how they have 5 more rings they have 5 Super Bowl rings. And it's like, yeah, what? 5 rings gathering dust in your basement? They're going on 30 years without a Super Bowl?
Here's a bright side. That'll be us trash talking the Patriots in a few years.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I'm here for it. I'm here for it 100%.
After all the pain they've caused us.
I was 1 yard away. And I had to witness that shit.
You can at least take comfort knowing that you won it the year before, but still, I mean,
yeah, good point.
Jeez.
That's a fair point. We
Unless you're the Chiefs, nowadays repeating is impossible. So.
Fuck you, KC. I'm sorry, but it's just that's
the
NFL to you, by the way.
Stupid. Yeah, that's just how it is. It was
anyway.
Super Bowl.
Do you want to talk some puck?
Let's do it.
Devils fired Lindy Ruff.
What happened to them a few days ago?
What happened?
I don't know. They conked out. They fell apart in every way imaginable. I think what they had just wasn't sustainable for them, and I learned that the hard way because they were my President's Trophy pick going into the year.
Were they really?
Yes, they were.
Oh, good job. You jinxed them.
I jinxed them so bad. I tweeted too. I jinxed the crap out of them, and
Mike is pissed at you. He's a Devils fan.
The lives of Devils fans. I know I have multiple friends who are Devils fans, and I've ruined their lives.
You know what's nice in the end? You know what's nice during this whole season? We get to see the downfall of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Isn't that nice?
Have you heard about the rumors that Sidney Crosby might go to the Avalanche?
Please no.
It's a discussion.
Please no. Please no.
I am 50-50 on that.
Please no.
Part of me thinks that he should retire a Penguin.
Thank you. I think he should retire a Penguin.
The other part of me thinks that he needs one more run at a Stanley Cup. He deserves one more.
He has 3 rings.
Yes, he does have 3 of them. But you might as well try to go out on top. You don't want to. You don't want to be known for ending your career in a retirement home. That's what the Pittsburgh Penguins are.
That's
Jake Gensel's probably gone.
Yeah, Gensel's gone.
I don't know how much longer. I don't know how much longer Malkin has.
Timeout. I think Malkin's more likely to get traded than Crosby.
What did Boston do?
Nothing.
I'm seeing it on my Twitter feed right now that Boston apparently fell apart again.
Good. Fuck them.
Oh, they're playing the Oilers and they lost in overtime.
Good. Can I also say this? There's not a more fraudulent team in the Eastern Conference right now than the Boston Bruins.
They are complete frauds.
Thank you.
They are complete frauds. I'm sorry. They just are.
Thank you. Because I look at this team and I'm like, okay, outside of Marchand and Pasternak, who the fuck else is there? Linus Ullmark stole a Vezina trophy from Ilya Sorokin, who should have won the Vezina trophy this past season. Sorokin, who, let's understand this, Linus Ullmark, who's been a career backup for most of his career, just somehow goes on a 65-win team, wins the Vezina because of that record, and people are shocked.
In the playoffs.
Yeah, could do shit in the playoffs. Could do shit. Here's another team that's a complete fucking absolute fraud, and I'll die on this hill. You'll love this, Vegas.
Thank you. Thank you.
Vegas and Boston are frauds.
My thing about Vegas right now is that I think they're in a bit of a rougher situation with Mark Stone than some people realize.
What happened to him again?
So he's on a long-term injured reserve, and people are thinking it's just for like cap flexibility, and he'll probably come back. Or I'm not. They're
pulling a Kucherov.
I think what some people are thinking is that they might be pulling a Kucherov, but from what I've heard, I'm not 100% sure this is true, but apparently it's a ruptured spleen for Mark Stone. So he might be done for the year. Like, even if they make the playoffs, I think he might be done.
I can speak from experience. I can speak from personal experience.
The trade that they made just today for Anthony Mantha, I think makes a little bit more sense in that regard. I think he's a winger.
Yeah, he's a winger.
Yeah, so like that would make sense to like fill in that hole like almost immediately. And Mantha's not bad either. He's not the best option.
No, he's good. I liked him with Detroit.
It screams Mark Stone replacement. It screams that you need somebody to fill that hole because Stone is going to be out a while.
Well, he's going to be
out give up a second-round pick for it too. It's like
he's going to be out for a considerable long time. I could speak from personal experience. I almost had my spleen rupture when I had a fun bout of mono in high school. Not fun at all. And he's going to probably go in for surgery to get that thing closed up, blah, 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 blah. Because that's a lot of blood that spilled. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's been, so I Googled it. It's been reported. There was knee surgery at first, and then it's been reported as a lacerated spleen. So
delicious.
Yeah.
I like the look you just gave me.
Bro craves human organs right now.
No, I do not. I'm not.
You said it was delicious.
That was a joke. I'm not fucking Jeffrey Dahmer, for God's sakes. I like doing this with you. It's fun.
Oh Lord. But you get what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah. I'll throw a third team in there, the Rangers.
I wouldn't say frauds.
They're inconsistent.
They're a little bit inconsistent. They've been a little bit shaky as the season has gone along, but I think that's kind of expected for a team like them that like starts really hot and then just kind of cools off a little bit. They're lucky they didn't cool off as much as the Kings did because, oh boy.
Can I ramble on Kyle Dubas, please? Speaking of the Penguins, what has this man done to deserve the credit he's gotten? How is Toronto's in a shitty situation cap wise because of this man, and he bolts to Pittsburgh, and he's gonna fuck that up. Kyle Dubas looks like the guy who plays D&D on a regular basis in high school, who also gets stuffed in the lockers and bullied for lunch money. And when he gets bullied, He throws his arms in the air and says, I cast Thunder Spell to try and get his ass out of there. And it doesn't work. Doesn't he?
Yeah.
What has this man done to deserve the title of best GM in the league?
Nothing.
He's done nothing.
He is the best GM in the league.
He's not.
I don't know who would be, but he's not. No, it's not him.
It's definitely not him. There is no clear-cut favorite as the best GM in the league. There literally isn't. It's hard to find one. Some people think it's Yzerman's probably there in Detroit. But even then, the Red Wings are up and down and all around.
How poetic is it, by the way, since this happened between our last episode and this one, how poetic is it that Patrick Kane scored the overtime winner in his return to Chicago? On the night that Chris Chelios was getting his jersey retired, and he literally told Patrick Kane, "Don't steal my thunder."
Proceeds to steal his thunder. Oh, glorious. Content is great. The deadline's this Friday, by the way.
Yeah, this is gonna be a weird trade deadline to say the least. The Jacob Chychrun rumors are still flying around.
He's still around?
Yeah, he is.
He's with Ottawa, right?
Yeah, although he, based on the direction Ottawa's gone as of late, he's probably not sticking around.
And
then, what I mentioned Crosby to you. I don't know what they're looking at. I don't think they're going to really do anything. I think they should go for a defenseman, but at the same time, it's just a matter of waiting for them to get a little bit more healthy.
Let's talk, shall we? Because the Islanders currently have 68 points, and they are storming back to the wild card position. They are currently 6 points, 4 back of Tampa Bay and Detroit in the wild card. To the standings, they are currently 4 points back of Detroit, to Tampa Bay, and Philadelphia.
Islanders have 68 points. Detroit and Tampa are tied at 72.
And Philadelphia's there too at 72.
Yes, but Philadelphia's not a wild card team. They're in the third. They're in the third seed in the Metro.
Jack, if you're Lou Lamoriello, what do you do? Because your team's rolling. They're scoring goals left and right. Patrick Waugh has been a great hire so far.
I mean, if they've finally gotten their shit together, I don't know if I'd make a move. I don't know if one's necessary. That's kind of the thing that I always see at the top of the standings too. Like you notice with teams like Vancouver, like they made the move for Elias Lindholm. Where the fuck did
Vancouver come from? Jesus Christ!
I know, right? But no one thought it was sustainable. I sat here the whole year going, it's not sustainable. They're gonna fall apart eventually. And sure, they held on for about as long as they could. But then the problem is, it feels like really every year there's a team at the top that always tries to mess with their recipe and fuck with what works.
Florida.
And Florida was in the Stanley Cup final last year. I really can't talk.
Yeah, good point.
But I think Vancouver this year is a perfect example. It might not have been something that was viewed as sustainable, but it was still working. They still made it happen. And then the Lindholm trade really just derailed them. It shut them down. And it's now he might be on his way out for Jake Gensel. That was the Jake Gensel rumor that I forgot about.
So, back to the question. Who do you go after? Let's just throw this out there because their defense is okay. The penalty kill, on the other hand, is hot garbage. The power play is pretty good. How much do you think they can pry a Chris Letang from Pittsburgh?
I think it might be doable.
Because he's not a bad defenseman. He's pretty good on the penalty kill. And he's a power play quarterback. Right?
Yeah. I think it's feasible is where I'll put it.
Problem is the money.
Sure.
Problem is the cap space. Their current defenseman core is, off the top of my head, Mike Riley, Noah Dobson, Sebastian Aho, Ryan Pulock, Adam Pellick, and Alex Romanov. That's their 6th defenseman. And number 7 is Robert Bortuzzo, who they got from St. Louis. I'm torn because I would like to make a trade, but I don't think they can. I don't know. Let's go to the Kings here. Let's go in your department, Jack.
Okay.
What do the Kings do?
I think the smart move for the Kings is to stand pat. I really do. I think I wouldn't be too upset if they looked at a move like that might. I think so. What's being discussed right now is Matt Roy is probably on his way out because they don't have the money for him long term. They need. I think the key thing for them is just getting healthy. Like Mikey Anderson is one of their top line defensemen, and he's been out for a while. Adrian Kempe and Victor Arvidsson are both on long-term injured reserve. And it's just like, or I don't know if Kempe's on long-term.
I don't think Kempe is. I thought Arvidsson was.
Arvidsson is, yeah. I think Kempe's expected back soon, though. But I think, honestly, the smart thing for the Kings to do is just try and get healthy again. They're missing a few names that are supposed to come back before the playoffs start, hopefully. So the hope would be that they're able to find some pieces to kind of just fix in like these little things that seem to be going wrong a lot.
Because you're not that far out.
No, the Kings, like I mentioned at the top of the show, if the Kings win against the Canucks, that game's starting in like 10 minutes. If they win tonight, they overtake Vegas for the 3rd spot in the Pacific.
Beautiful. We love these things.
And they've been playing overall. I think a lot of Kings fans have been a little bit overreacting because one of their 2 losses over the last week or so was to Edmonton. Yeah, I want the Kings to beat the shit out of the Oilers too. I get it. But I really think our goal should just be getting to the playoffs first and then worrying about it when we get there, because the free fall that they had in the middle of the season kind of just showed you like this team just needs to kind of get back to what was working and get back to like a correct state of mind, which is what Jim Hiller was doing once he took over as the interim head coach after they fired Tom McClellan. Getting into the right frame of mind again really helped this team figure it out. And probably a pretty decent example of that is I think is Pierre-Luc Dubois is starting to play a whole lot better under Jim Hiller.
He really
he put up a couple stinkers, but honestly...
Wait. Hold on. Jim Hiller, as in former Islanders power play coach Jim Hiller?
Jim Hiller.
No shit.
The Kings signed him specifically to help with the power play. And ironically enough, it's our penalty kill that's improved. We have the best penalty kill in the league.
What the fuck?
And now he's the interim head coach of the Kings.
Unbelievable.
I think, though, I will say this. So, back to Dubois for a moment here, because there are so many people on Kings Twitter that say he's the problem. They want to use him as a scapegoat. Shut up.
Didn't they sign him to an 8-year deal?
That is the only reason why people are freaking out, is because of the money. $8.5 million a year for 8 years.
That's not that bad, actually.
I do think it's a lot. I do think it's a little bit much.
Have you seen the... Hold on.
Here's what I think. Let me explain.
Please
money... The amount of the high money in that contract basically means there's really, really high expectations. But I think that the Kings' mistake, or at least the mistake that Todd McClellan was making with Dubois at the start of the year, they're trying to turn him into a guy he's not. They want him to be a frequent goal scorer and contributor, that kind of thing. I don't think he necessarily needs to appear on the score sheet every night. I think this guy just kind of needs to start realizing a little bit more. He's a big guy on the ice. He can use his body and play physical. And when he does that stuff, it leads to scoring. Like we saw against the Devils the other night. He won a battle along the boards and immediately got an assist. So it's like, we just get that kind of thing. It's just been a little bit too inconsistent for our liking, and the numbers can go up there. But it's not like Dubois alone is the issue, too, because there are a lot of other games where players like Kopitar, Doughty haven't been playing their best. And it's just like, Dubois is not the only guy that's got to step up.
Yeah.
And thankfully, it seems like they're getting their shit together. Like Kopitar and Doughty have been scoring. Doughty leads the league in slapshot goals. He's been taking some flappers from the blue line this year, which you love to see.
We like these things.
Similar to that are on my wall, by the way. So
There you go.
Flex.
Who do you think the Rams are going to sign?
That's a really off-topic question.
Because it just hit me in the head. It just hit me in the head.
I'll answer that after I'm done. My last point that I'm just going to make is like Dubois should not be the scapegoat. I think what he's going to do for the Kings long term is beneficial for the team, and that's why they made that signing. And I think we'll start to see that, maybe not this season, but as the years go along, he's going to find his role and he's going to fit in. I at least will hope that that's the case, because if they signed him for 8 years, I'm not going to trash him. I'm not going to actively trash him like every Kings fan seems to want to be doing. Yes, he could be playing a lot better, but I'm not going to just sit here hoping that he fails every game just because I hate the trade. And Gabe Velarde's hurt again, by the way. So it's like
King's Twitter is very interesting.
It is very interesting. There's a good side and a bad side, I'll say.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
But yeah, no. That's just all I need to say is that Dubois he should not be the scapegoat. And at the same, and like he will find his role. He will find his long-term piece, and there will be some value with this trade long-term, because the goal is to win the Stanley Cup at this point. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe not this season. I mean, it should be this season. It really, they at least this season need to win a few playoff rounds.
Anything can happen.
But anything can happen. Like Dubois should not be viewed as the problem here. So
okay, who do you think the Rams are going to sign?
I want Darius Williams.
I think so too.
I think it makes sense. First of all, they got to get Ahkello Witherspoon back. I think that's an obvious number one priority.
He was good
in terms of free agency on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, I don't know what they do, because the offensive line, they need to draft a guy.
Who's the offensive tackles available that's outside David Bakhtiari?
Kevin Knotson.
That you can afford.
The guy that was just with them.
No. That's like the top free agents available. Give me a second. Top free agent.
I don't think he's going to be on the board, but I really want the Rams to kind of draft Joe Alt. I think that would be really good for this team, but I don't know if he's going to be on the board that long. We pick at 19, so.
To our good friend Spot Track. Tyron Smith. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Offensive line.
Trent Brown. Jonah Williams. I'm going specifically tackles.
I think offensive line in general for the Rams is in need, though, just because they need to, shore up some holes offensively. And I think the Rams are I think they're a pretty good team in the league when it comes to like members of the O-line that like end up switching positions.
Yeah,
and that's why I don't think I think Coleman Shelton is a free agent. I think. Let me check.
I love the sound of the keyboard.
That's what you get with the Blue Yeti. That was just a 1-year deal for Shelton, so I think he's going to be a free agent. So I think the Rams. I'm not necessarily too upset. Like, yeah, I don't want to lose them, but at the same time, there's a reality in which one of the linemen end up switching to play center, and they're fine. So,
yeah, good point.
But that would assume that they go with O linemen in the first round. So, and like I think what some people are saying is that it'll be Steve Avila going to center. I think he was a tackle. Let me check.
Guard? He was a guard, right?
Yeah, he might have been a guard. Yeah, he's a guard. I don't know. I think either offensive line or edge or cornerback is where they're going to look. But I think they're willing to. I think it's going to be a really interesting offseason for the Rams too, because they have proven already that they're willing to spend money again, because it was reported recently that they were in the running for Mike Evans before he signed back with the Bucks.
You called Shohei Ohtani. I remember this episode. I remember that clip.
I
screamed in your microphone, Shohei Ohtani, the Dodgers.
Yeah, I did call Shohei Ohtani. That to be honest with you, though, that one just made too much sense.
As Disney money.
Yeah, sure.
It's the Disney money.
It's
Is it Disney?
No, it's not Disney.
The Dodgers ownership group isn't part of Disney?
The Dodgers have what is it? Guggenheim Baseball is their ownership group. Me googling it again.
I thought that was part of Disney.
It's Guggenheim is the ownership. I don't think there's any involvement when it comes to Disney at all. I'm gonna check though right now just to be sure.
I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I'm pumped for baseball, man. I'm so pumped.
I know. Spring training alone is fun.
Oh, what a sound. The crack of the bat. The ball hitting the glove.
Yeah, no, it's literally all like Guggenheim baseball. It's just they've owned the team since March 27, 2012.
Huh.
Or the sale officially closed on May 1st, 2012.
Huh.
You know what's funny too is that Guggenheim actually has their logo. Like the Dodgers ownership group has their logo as our jersey ad this year. And it's just like, I don't even care. After what they did for this team this offseason, they can go ahead and do that. I don't even care. I hate jersey ads and I don't care at all. Like you went out and you got the biggest free agent on the planet in maybe any sport ever, except for like, I guess Messi in soccer.
True.
Like, that is how good Shohei Ohtani is. So, and like the fact that they got him locked up here pretty much for life. What is that, a 10-year deal and all that deferred money? People hate it. I don't care. We're the villains. I embrace that. He's here for 10 years, and the Dodgers are deferring so much money that they can freely spend whatever they want. So, but going back to that point is like
all that to lose in the second round.
Man, you're gonna laugh so much if that happens. I don't.
I will, but I will also feel terrible for you.
All I'm gonna say is that the Dodgers haven't won shit yet. That's it. That's where I'm gonna stand. It's awesome. This offseason has been incredible for the Dodgers, and I will love reliving it every day. But I want to relive the World Series memories even more. So,
yeah, I want a Stanley Cup. It makes you feel any better.
Back to your question, though. You asked me who the Rams would sign, and like I don't really know if I can call anything yet because I just can't think. I think Darius Williams, honestly, is the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah, really Darius Williams, I think that would be the perfect fit. Or Rayshon Jenkins. How's your safety spots?
I think they want to get they want to get John Johnson back. They've been talking to him, so I think
get him and Jenkins. Bring him and Jenkins in.
We'll see.
You never know. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you got a Kings game to go see.
I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Staniel Smooth. This is Jack of U Stadium. We're coming to you. Well, Jack is not, but I am. I'm coming to you from the lovely beaches of Long Island, New York. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Time to BS with Staniel Smooth. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. Twitter, Instagram, Threads, whatever.
Do Google. People use Threads still? I don't think people use Threads.
I do because Twitter's toxic.
Fair enough. Anyway, yeah, no. Thank you for having me on. It's fun to shoot the shit as always.
Cheers. Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to you from the Department of Bullshit, and we'll see you all in this life or most certainly the next one. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen.